Plugs. Mallets. Yeah! Welcome to Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live. My name's Quinlan, and I'm going to take you around the world like a barbarian. Hey-ya! Oh, I might stop some of the nefarious stuff here. Hey, how you going? As I said, my name's Melbourne Musos, and the show is called Quinlan. How you going? Hey. Hello, camera 2. There you go. I got a new set of mallets. I haven't played with mallets for a little while. These are beautiful PST1 soft. Okay, but I'm going to play hard. There you go. Hey. Ooh. Now, what do I want to do tonight? I'm going to keep my triggers on tonight. This is a European folk kit set to my 10th setting on my interface. And what I want to try and evoke is a mood. Back in the day, I've got the book in the other room somewhere. I tried to find it. I left it. It's in a box somewhere. But I'm going to put it up here. And it's a book by a fairly obscure drummer now, but he was big in the day. He used to play with the wonderful vibes player Gary Burton. But Bob Moses, and he had a book out through Modern Drummer Publications, so he must have been famous at some point, called Drumming Wisdom. And I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the concepts he put out in that book. Plus, getting around the place. How to get around like a good barbarian. I went and saw a great show last Sunday at the Tote. Miles, I hope you're there. Tim Colopy, I hope you're there too. It was a lot of fun. Band called Barbarian, look them up. They're a hoot. They're absolute hoot. So, my little tip of the hat. Like I say on all my posts, forego the beer to the venue, save the last beer money for the t-shirt and the CD. Because we all need it. I've been whinging about it on Facebook, shook a lot. So what it is, getting around. Okay, so this is what happens here. I'm going to explain a couple of things, and then I'm going to get back to Mr. Bob Moses a little bit. And what it is I'm going to do it all with mallets. I'm going to do it with the thing. I want to evoke a kind of a soundtrack. The thing I love, I go, have a listen to that. That's a hanging flower pot chain from Bunnings. You know, stick a cymbal company's logo on there and charge 5 times more. So what it is shortcut. Dead. Gong. China. Bell. All of a sudden. I hope I'm evoking Nordic waves. How do I do all this stuff? Anyway, what it goes on, let me explain a couple of things to you. What happens is with Doris here, who I've taken off the Jenny Craig diet. I'll edit that out later. But what happens is pivot points. What happens is when you're playing between drums, I have a pivot point. Now what happens is instead of going Hail Caesar! I'm putting myself off. What you do is you pivot like that. You see? There's a pivot point. See? Got that? So what happens is instead of having to do all this separate biz, you can actually go. There it is there. When you have a normal 5-piece drum kit, instead of having to do 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, you can actually do it almost like a gear shift. You can do it like this. You see, I start off like this, work up, pivot, bring it down. Hope you don't mind the triggers. And what I do is kick the left hand, say, on the snare drum. I'll take the triggers off for just 1 second. I'll put them back on soon enough. Anyway, there we go. So you get this. Getting all tied up here. Come on, what's going on, Chris? See, you got that kind of thing. When you're doing, say, the left hand, you could say, go between 2. Oh God, that's an octave in a major 7, very close. There you go, you see, you can have that. How about if I do a triangle? 1, 2, 3, 1. And 4 with the right hand. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. There it is there. And what can happen when I go over here, check 1, 2, hey. What I do here, Terry Bozzio's, these are Terry Bozzio's piccolo toms and all that sort of stuff. But what happens with this is that he goes at it like a piano. I go at it like a guitar, so I look at it like 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, like that. So that's why I've got them off to the side. It's like a little secondary thing. I just take them away. So what happens is, when I'm doing this, yeah, Nordic adventure. So what goes on with that is I'm trying to create a little bit of a soundtracky thing there. Hello, kids. And what happens, I've got a bit of noise happening there. That's this microphone over here, I think. But what goes on is that you try to work out all your different things. One of the things you want to be able to do is, if you've got a single stroke roll, something that I say quite a bit is I move between the vertical and the horizontal. Okay, so what happens is, this is the vertical. And then horizontal. Yeah. Now you can get a bit of polymeter happening here, because what happens is, if I'm moving between, say, the floor and the snare, you can get that kind of getting around the drums is what it is tonight. And what goes on is that when I'm doing things like that, I can keep to a two things. Now, this is a Gary Chester thing, which I put his book up there the other week. But what it is he talked about territories. He talks about territories between the different things. There we go. You see, if I try and hit like that, no good. So what I've got here is the territories. And to get around the territory, like a true barbarian, I've got that going. It's a bit of a recurring theme. And then your odd time signatures can come from the drums that you're playing, you see. So if I'm just playing 3 drums, of course it's going to be 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, like I did before. Yeah. Now this is a Bosio thing. And then use my pivot point to create a 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See, that's unison playing. split it up. So you got 2 there and 3 there. Put 2 there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 5 there. Now this isn't a polyrhythm, it's a polymeter, you see, because what happens is I'm playing at the same time. Okay, so what happens is the difference is a polyrhythm is 2 different rhythms played at the same time, like 3 against 2, or like I was, 3 against 2. That's always the starting point with all that. And then what happens is that a polymeter is when you have 2 different time signatures played against each other, a la Tool, Fear Inoculum, and all the others, you know. So if I'm just going, say, between 2, oh no, I'll stick to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's the implied 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the right hand. Hippopotamus, pillage, pillage, pillage. There you go. Sticking with mallets tonight, one of the things about that is empty sounds, because what happens is if you play with a normal stick, a ride cymbal will have the ping. But if you want an empty sound, you can actually just use the mallet and it goes away. I'll show you what I mean. What happens? Let's see if I do, let's say I do semiquavers. 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 3 Iana, 4 Iana. 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 3 Iana, 4 Iana. Now I'm going to put the first beat with my right hand on the ride here. It's not da 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 da, but I'm still playing it there. So 1. When I go to the left. Now this is the piccolo toms that I've had for years and years and years. But this could also be your octapad or some kind of synth pad, or anything like that you have that I see so often, just on the left-hand side. Here's the what anyone else would probably call the popcorn snare or something like that. Now there's something to be said, like even within Doris here, there's something to be said about a little bit of the symmetrical setup, a la Mike Mangini from Dream Theater and stuff, you see. So you play around like that. Bill Bruford got into that too towards the end of his career. He simply retired from drumming and all that. So anyway, we should keep going, but anyway. Angles. I have 4 things. I've got a star, that means 1 drum. Got a line. Line has 2 points. Triangle, 3 points. 4, square is 4. Put them both together. Back to the triggers, mate. Ooh, turn them down a little bit, maybe. Okay, let's get it back up here. Oh. Now we put it all together. Okay, and what we do is put it all together. Oh, get a bit of mysterioso stuff happening. Hey. And then what happens then a soundtrack. You could start off with, say, lays in things like the aforementioned Bob Moses with drumming wisdom. What he would do was talk about 4/4 in jazz, more like 8/8. If you're going to play in like 4/4 as the time signature, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, because they're crotchets. But if you're going to play 8/8, it's actually still the same thing. But what goes on is you can imply different things within that. I have prepared something because I'm using the European folk kit triggers, so getting all around the place like a true barbarian. Now, here comes something for you. What I'm going to do is going to put all of this into practice. Now, what I've done here tonight is actually sort of talked about angles, you know. I have peripheral vision here. I'm looking that way so I can see both hands. Oh, I lost that one. Now. Yeah. They're all double stroke rolls. Right, right, left, left. Now, I'm going to do this. Barbarians. There we go. Hang on, let me get this going. I've prepared a little piece, being melodic and bit of continuity. What I've done is, what I love doing is the genre of creating soundtracks underneath spoken word and all sorts of things. Last week I did Lazy Teddy. I'll finish off tonight. I went very much over last week. I'll keep it to my normal 25-minute Channel 31 half hour. And here we go. A little bit of history, a little bit of soundtrack. Here we go.
Barbarians were the seafaring, big-drinking, pillaging Norse people from southern Scandinavia, present-day Denmark, Norway and Sweden, who from the late 8th to late 11th centuries raided, pirated, pillaged, traded, pillaged, drank and pillaged and settled throughout parts of Europe. They also voyaged as far as the Mediterranean, North Africa, the Middle East, and North America. In the countries they raided, pillaged and settled. The period is known as the Barbarian Pillaging Age, and the term barbarians also commonly includes the inhabitants of the Norse homelands. The Vikings had a profound impact on the early medieval history of Scandinavia, the British Isles, France, Estonia, and Kievan Rus. Expert sailors, navigators and pillagers aboard their characteristic longships. Barbarians established Norse settlements and governments in the British Isles, Ireland, the Faroe Islands, Iceland, Greenland, Normandy, the Baltic coast, and along the Dnieper and Volga trade routes in what is now European Russia, Belarus and Ukraine, where they were also known as Bulgarians. The Normans, Norse Gaels, Rus people, Faroese and Icelanders emerged from these Norse colonies. The barbarians also voyaged and pillaged their way to Constantinople, Iran and Arabia. They were the first pillaging Europeans to pillage North America, briefly settling in Newfoundland, Vinland. While spreading Norse culture to foreign lands, they simultaneously brought home slaves, concubines and foreign cultural influences to Scandinavia, profoundly influencing the genetic and historical development of both. During the Barbarian Pillaging Age, Norse homelands were gradually consolidated from smaller kingdoms into three larger kingdoms: Denmark, Norway and Sweden. The barbarians spoke Old Norse and made inscriptions in runes. For most of the period they followed the Old Norse religion, but later became pillaging Christians. The barbarians had their own laws, art and architecture. Most barbarians were also farmers, fishermen, craftsmen and traders. They called their favorite wives Matilda. Popular conceptions of the barbarians often strongly differ from the complex, advanced civilization of the Norsemen that emerges from archaeology and historical sources. A romanticized picture of barbarians as pillaging savages began to emerge in the 18th century. This developed and became widely propagated during the 19th century Barbarian Revival. Perceived views of the barbarians as violent, piratical pillaging events or as intrepid pillaging adventurers owe much to conflicting varieties of the modern pillaging barbarian myth that had taken shape by the early 20th century. Current popular representations of the barbarian are typically based on cultural cliches and stereotypes, complicating modern appreciation of the Viking pillaging legacy. These representations are rarely accurate. For example, there is no evidence that they wore horned helmets, a costume element that first appeared in Wagnerian opera.
Hey! Oh, hope you enjoyed that. Oh, the Barbarians. Did you know that there was a biking gang called the Barbarians? And my dad's pub was the only place they were allowed in, and they were on best behaviour. There you go. Back in the day. So I hope you got something out of this show. Support a local band. Bands, go out, see a band. Buy the t-shirt. Have a laugh. Take the piss. I'm out of here. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'd like to thank Vanula Olmakushla for the recitation there. She's a lovely lady. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, I love and leave you here, and we're off. I'll keep it short tonight. I kept it long last week. Short tonight. Okay, go see your band. I'll see you later. Hey.